welcome to Shooting the Shit with Rhonda and T. Tonight we are reviewing the Belle Collective Season 3, Episode 9. But before we start, tell them what to do.
Smash that thumbs up button, or you're gonna get Jackson vibe in here like me.
Subscribe to the channel.
You're
Okay,
gonna
so
get Jackson vibe in here like me.
Is he saying Jackson vibe?
yep,
No, Jackson vibe, man.
vibe man. Yeah.
Oh.
So Letitia is confronting Cliff about calling Glenn to tell Glenn about them strippers. And Cliff is like, look, he is so in love with you. He is obsessed. And it ain't nothing wrong with a man being obsessed. Okay. And he like his wife know better to be throwing no money at no stripper. Okay. So
But do he know better?
Because he act like he wants to throw something.
Man.
So Latrice come out and Letitia tells Latrice what Cliff was saying. And Cliff was like, look, you got to step up as a woman and be the wife that Glenn wants you to be. And, you know, Latrice drunk. So she like, she ain't there. Next thing I know, Marie came out. She drunk as well. She starts showing.
Excuse me. Family business. She just stole my bullets.
Don't say that word. Okay. Marie come out. She's showing Latrice her butt. I don't know where this come from. They start talking about whether it's store bought or what is going on.
It's definitely store bought. I mean, Marie, you keep calling Tambra a liar, and then you lie every week when you tell us that's your booty and that's your in your nose.
Girl, I was like, where this come from? What is y'all doing?
And why is your booty shaking all over Latrice, who you don't like?
Who you don't like? I've
never been that drunk. I ain't never been so drunk. I just couldn't
say that. Never. But it won't be that. Yeah. Okay. So we got Aikisha and her husband, child. You know, Aikisha gonna give you some food. She like candy part too. You gonna get some good food, some pig ears.
You know, Willie had me food. I thought he cooked that food.
Thought he did too. He had me.
I was like, okay, Willie, do it taste good?
Child. So she let us and Willie know. So what she doing is waiting on a proposal for the entire block. She wants the entire block, but it's 5 other groups that sit in proposals, but they want at least one building. She don't want nobody else to come get a building, because if she don't get the whole block and say one person get a piece of it, she don't want it to be a situation where, you know, what if they don't have their stuff together? What if they're stuck looking for funding? You know, like the Scotts over there holding on to that land.
And then you have everything done in one building, not doing shit.
Right. Or they could put some like booty shaking shit.
I think they're going to make it hard for her. They're going to make it hard for her
to get that block. I mean, if push come to shove, she do got her building, so she's still gonna do her thing, but it would be nice because she know at that point everything is gonna get done, you know. But yeah, they're gonna make it hard because they don't want nobody to have.
It's not like P Valley.
Then she tell them she gonna have a Christmas mixer down on Fair Street at their spot down there. And, you know, so people could come learn the history about the street, you know, let them know what she's up there trying to do. Because this is the event that she usually have for her family and friends called the Holiday. At
first I thought she was saying holiday, and I was like, is she for real? I thought she was like, we fixed to have a holiday party. And I was like, are you for real?
So she is gonna invite all the Bells. All the Bells is gonna be invited, okay? We got Letitia out there with this tennis lesson with Latrice. Child, they didn't hit over 100 balls, and this white woman told them to pick it up. And I said, ain't no way in hell you would have been doing a lesson with a clear person and told them to
Don't
pick
they
up
have
the
a
ball.
person, a ball person?
You ain't gonna tell me to pick it up. I am not.
I'm like you. You know how you say you've been waiting a week to say something, whether you was gonna say it or not. I'm gonna jump on out there. I don't want Letitia, I don't want her to ever put on no tennis skirt no more.
No more.
No.
That ain't it.
It could have
No, she could have just threw some leggings on in a shirt and hit
and some tennis shoes, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Letitia asked, why Cliff go and tell Glenn about that stripper? And that set them all the way back. And I was like, well, something like that set y'all back. Why the hell is you moving forward in the first place? Because that wasn't even that serious the way y'all was making that. You know what I'm saying? So really Glenn is the problem.
You know how
Cliff
many
is wrong,
times I
but
have
Glenn
gotten
is the
foolish, you
problem.
know how many times I have gotten foolish text messages where you be like, just because somebody in their feelings.
That's what I'm saying.
It ain't
I'm
enough to
saying
set you back to nowhere.
Cliff is the problem as far as him running his mouth. But the way your man reacted to it, he's the real issue.
And I mean, she was standing up there like, this I ain't Latrice. You kind of like are though. Like you ain't.
Yeah. Don't do this thing because you back, but then you go and do whatever the hell he gonna say.
Well, and could you get a break? Like you talk all that smack when Glenn go down to the bar, to the Barnacle or wherever the hell he working at, but
yeah, child. So Latrice talk about her husband is conservative and honey, that was just too much for him to take in.
looked like he was trying to take it all in.
Right. She was like, well, he should have took you and left then, but he was too busy looking over there at the 15 inches
This
too.
fool had a front row seat.
Hmm.
Him and Marie was god darn it, finna knock each other off, god darn it.
Well, she said he only did that because he had to get details for his boy.
Word.
She said if her husband wanted to alert his friend, it was okay. And she was like, well, he did that to start some shit. And she was like, potatoes, I stand by my husband. And then
she said what she said.
Yeah. So then Latrice asked her, well, are y'all good? Are y'all situation good? And she was like, we just going through the motions like any other marriage. And she was
that's
like,
that's not how every other marriage works.
No, ma'am. She was like, I see why Glenn say Cliff got you respectful. Yeah, because she ain't gonna say nothing wrong.
I mean, I realize that people have ups and downs within their relationship, but by the time you get to going through the motions, that's different.
That ain't the motions. that ain't the motion. That's something else. Child, Akeisha is at home waiting on her sisters and her sister cousin. And let me tell you, Akeisha gonna give you at home realness and going out gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? She gonna be one of the home. When she at home, she at home. You know what I'm saying? She chilling.
That's how you should be.
But when she go out, she tear them up every time. She the youngest. She's 7.
Doesn't it feel nice though to see somebody like at home looking like
real? At home realness. Yeah.
I be thinking I just don't have the image to be getting up and have glammed up first thing in the morning. And
so unrealistic. They walk around with their gowns and stuff on. I mean, you ain't got to be toe up on the floor, but you ain't got to be made up to the T.
Yeah. Or y'all sitting outside in freaking Mississippi with eyelashes and wigs glued to your forehead.
Child. So she's the youngest of all her sisters. One is 17 years older than her. The other is 10 years older than her. She walked them to meet the Bells. And then she talked about how she went to school with Tambra, but how Tambra basically did a 360 on her. And her one sister was like, the one with the voice, the one. I was like, yep, that's her. You know.
You know what's funny? Because everybody talks about her and how she talks in her confessional, but I felt like this week was real. I was like, it was real, like animated to the point where I was like, okay, Tamper, come on now. She was talking really slow
Yeah.
and
I couldn't listen to her on the radio. I don't know how y'all do it. SM radio, please. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And then she talked about how, Tambra was telling everybody that she was shady and she was a liar. And then how Letitia said that Akeisha stole her idea for Ferris Street and she ain't never even heard an idea from her. So how she gonna steal it? I was like, me either, girl. What is her idea?
what is her idea?
She ain't said a word about Ferris
She's
Street.
too busy. Like, and listen, imagine like Akeisha and her husband Willie. I feel like they can go into a business meeting and articulate what it is that they're trying to achieve down there on Fair Street. Is Letitia bringing Glenn down to the meeting with the folks and then expecting them to invest money in whatever it is she has to say?
He gonna rap for him, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, where did we go wrong?
So she asked her sisters and them. She like, after she didn't talk shit about everybody. Now I want y'all to come to the event, but y'all be cordial now.
Listen, I had to think of my sister because I was like, she ain't gonna do it. Even if I
Because
tell
that
her.
one sound like Aunt Bertha. She was like, it depends how much I had to drink. I was like, oh, Aunt Bertha.
My sister didn't need no cocktail, but she ain't gonna do it. I could be like,
now
look,
you didn't already told her that you
don't go down here
somebody.
and act a fool and say nothing in front of them. She ain't gonna do it. She don't need no damn cocktail.
So how this your idea and this our family stuff? Shit, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. Child, this was the funniest part to me. Willie done met up with JJ to play pool.
I was like out loud laughing. I was dying so hard.
So they have become friends. Willie said when he first met JJ, he didn't know what he was looking at. But JJ heart is pure and he will give you the shirt off his back. Now they playing pool. JJ said he playing with the big balls. Okay. Willie was like, why they gotta be big balls? Why you just can't say stripes? So
the way Willie vocalizes his confusion is everything to me.
So he tells him, JJ tells Willie that Glenn want to be a rapper. He said he didn't put a song out there trying to get Letitia back. And Willie was like, well, this is why men don't need to be alone, because when they alone, they get stupid ideas.
And JJ was right over there encouraging him to do it.
JJ tell you he was the hype man. He was the hype man. And so he told him he didn't threw Gucci this party and all the Bells was there and they was getting along and there was a lot of ass slapping and clapping. Okay.
He's not wrong. And it wasn't even, and they were slapping each other's ass.
Yeah. And he said he had a special guest for So Gucci. And Willie was like, you got someone to perform? He said, I flew a Jamaican here, a stripper. Willie said, a what? He said, you done missed the whole goddamn ball, Willie. Oh, shoot. He said, a stripper. He said, why? He said, that made all the Bells get together. He was like, my wife come together? He was like, nah, she was all the way in the back like this.
Akeisha was like, y'all got a whole film crew here. If it's 15 inches, I can see it from over here. I ain't mad at her. Like, I don't want to see that close up. I'm good on that. I'm good. Like, y'all can say what you want. I don't need it. It's 15 inches of what?
That doesn't even sound pleasurable. He said then Letitia called me outside because she was no, that's stupid.
That's 12.
Y'all can keep him, Bolo, all of them. Y'all had that. Y'all had that. Because when you get older, should you be going to the bathroom and shit every 15, 20 damn minutes? I ain't got time for that shit.
What do it look like? Like, let me stop. Go ahead.
Ask Cliff. Cliff got all the details
Can it
for
go
you.
all the way to like 18 inches or?
Cliff could tell you. He could tell you. I'm sure he studied and went and see if that one is fit, because he said it wasn't 15. Cliff said it was 16. He said the teacher called me outside because she was arguing with Glenn. He was like, why? Did he tell her he want to be a rapper? He said, no, Uncle Clifford then called Glenn and said his wife was all over the goddamn stripper, goddamn it, and then threw goddamn salt all over the woman, and she ain't touched the goddamn man.
That is exactly what he said.
He said, and he was enjoying it more than the women. Talk about that ain't 15, Jack. That's 16. And Willie was like, yeah, we counting now? Yeah, he was counting. Willie was like, he going back to New York.
Yeah.
It was too much. It was too much for him, child. They cute together. I like them.
JJ and Willie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny, like they're more entertaining than the Bells.
Because at the end of the day, JJ is a really good businessman, and Willie too. So they got that. We don't know what Uncle Clifford. He didn't call the man Uncle Clifford. We don't know what Uncle Clifford.
I thought he'd be cutting down trees.
He chopping them down. We know that. Because
that's not an easy job.
It's not, but he inherited a lot of that land. Ain't that what he said? Wasn't that like family land?
I probably didn't read the subtitles.
And Glenn ain't doing nothing. Glenn over there.
He on the barge. He's on the barnacle.
Yeah, he ain't no business.
Popeye.
Yeah. So yeah, it's cute though. It's cute that they're together. Letitia that met up with Tambra, and she wanted to talk about she said, well, let's talk about your ex-fiance. And Tambra was like, that's not my fiance. We only dated for a couple of months. And they basically this conversation went about nothing. What's her name? Letitia apologized. Tambra said she was angry because her and Marie went behind her back to entertain this nigga. And she looked at Marie as a friend, and you know how men lie, and if you wanted to know, you could have called. But they did a whole lot of talking but not saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like Tambra.
I mean, the point at which you met up with somebody from my past, you're not my friend. I don't really care what you have to say, to be honest, especially if the situation was as volatile as Tambra is saying it is. We don't have nothing to say. Like, at no point, if somebody called me and say, I used to date Tamika, what am I going to do? I'm going to hear what he got to say so I can tell you exactly what.
Tell me which one said it.
Right. Right.
But then she apologized, but in the confessional, she was like, I know her, but I don't know her. So I'm like, you still like talking shit.
You know what's even more weird, because I just use you as an example, but she's saying that like Tamara doesn't share her business. Thank you. Tamara doesn't share her business, and so you met up with somebody who really you ain't even like tight with like that. You know what I'm saying? That's even more weird. Why am I meeting up with somebody not like my best friend, but my acquaintance?
Right. Child. It's kind of like they got dirt on everybody. But they was after Tambra.
Is that dirt though?
Year. They trying to.
Is that really dirt though?
They thought it was. They just want to prove her to be.
I feel like Tamara does like. I don't feel like whatever
out of your way.
She's not being forthcoming about. Really ain't It ain't that serious.
But you doing a whole lot. We see that she's a liar. You ain't got to do the extra. You know, we seen it from
So like
last.
she's lying about her own life. I feel like
Yeah.
we've all run across people that exaggerate their real story.
Stop.
She's
Right.
her lies ain't did nothing to you. She ain't out here lying on Glendale.
So she apologized, and then she asked if her and Damon is still together, and she was like, "Yeah." Then she was like, "Are you pregnant?" And
Ask your friend.
they went off. Of course, we're not gonna get that answer. So it's that all the ladies is there talking. We see Mel for the first time this season. I forget about that girl. Y'all might as well go on and make her a Belle.
See,
Mel said she got a breast reduction, and I was like, how big were they?
Mel was juicy. I remember when she did
the fashion show. But I'm
yeah.
saying they said she got a breast. When they said breast done, I thought she got her breast done. They said reduction. I was
Said
like, well,
reduction.
shoot.
Yeah.
How much was there?
She probably was some G's.
Well, she still got a lot to work with.
Well, she could carry it. She got the
Yeah,
she tall.
she's a
stuff.
big
She got
woman.
yeah. Latrice seemed a little awkward around the ladies to me. Just being around, it wasn't. I don't know. She just seemed a little awkward.
Awkward around her girl. What's her name?
Mel.
Mel. You said she was awkward around Mel to you?
She seemed like all of them, like they were all kind of talking, and she was kind of standing there like she was trying to fit in, but wasn't really sure. And then when she did say something, she said the stripper, when they were talking about the stripper, she said, "Well, men brought us together." Hey, hey, hey. You know what I'm saying? But it was like real awkward. Look at her face.
Whose friend is she? Is she Latrice's friend, Mel?
Mel, I don't know, but Latrice just, she said her homegirl, Mel. She did say that was her homegirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she seemed awkward. Just being around, maybe she's just not comfortable.
Because she had Cliff with her.
So she couldn't be herself. Scared that because he lurking. He around the corner listening.
And drinking. Like I told you, he got a limit. He start out fine, and then once it gets to a point.
So we get a history lesson about Fair Street. Mom is there. Akeisha mom is there. And, they show us the collection that they got the pictures and stuff hanging around and how that came from her mom's mom. And Letitia's not there. Letitia is late. And I'm like, Letitia hating ass is probably late on purpose. That's
like
all that
somebody
was.
That came to your house and saw the improvements.
You crazy.
Did I say that? Oops.
Child.
Want me to leave that out? I'm not.
So anyway, she just showed up late, and Cliff hugged her, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know about all this." And Latrice was like, "Girl, my husband loves you," and I do he? Because the next thing he said
you know what? I feel like that's a normal response. I feel like when somebody that's like played you, that's a normal response to be like, oh, right. Yeah. Are we hugging today?
Right. So when she said, my husband love you, I was like, do he? Because the next thing was, I'm going to tell you like it is. Don't fuck with me. She said, what? Marie said he gonna tell you like it is and don't fuck with him.
Sounds like the tipsy is kicking in.
Okay.
Because he got a cocktail.
He definitely had one in his hand. So Akeisha come over there because she's trying to see what's going on. Like, and y'all ain't finna turn this into one of your events, Latrice. So, let's squash this now. And she tells Akeisha what Cliff did by telling Glenn about the stripper and everything. And she was like, you wouldn't even buy the stripper. That she had to catch herself. Oh, look at me defending you. You know what I'm saying? So then they go off. They standing there. Marie started talking about how controlling he is, and how Latrice is just looking for a daddy and her husband. And Latrice at that moment walk up and give everybody a hug. And I'm like, Marie, your ass, I don't understand you. You showing her the booty, you hugging her, but you can't stand this woman, but okay. So she go and hug everybody because she tell everybody, you know, it's time for her to go. And Gucci was like, she know it's time to go, don't she? And I'm with Gucci. She absolutely knew it was time to get him the hell up out of there
When he
because
started getting more, when the subtitles come.
yeah, yeah,
I-
absolutely, absolutely.
She
So
was
that's
like,
how that
next step is
episode.
craziness. And he'll take it out on her, probably. I mean, who
You
knows?
know he is. He gonna find a reason. And while you was over there with them girls and she talking shit about me, and you ain't got my back. The same thing she was
And see,
doing
but
with her
Willie is in
friend.
the house. So
Yep. So next week, child, it's supposed to be a double date with Willie and Aikisha, Gucci, and JJ. And it's gonna end up being a throuple because they didn't know that Cliff and Latrice was gonna be there. So we're gonna have JJ and Uncle Clifford together for the first time on camera together after them beefing. So I mean, not
they're
the first
all
time
there
they was
to
on camera,
entertain
but
Willie. It's gonna be
who did that? Willie did that? Did Willie do that?
entertained.
That's what it is. Child.
I think they set him up. They was like, watch how Willie do.
Right, right. Child, all right, y'all. So that is the Belle Collective. I don't know where he disappeared. Okay. He
Smack that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, or you're gonna have Jackson Weissman here like me.
Oh my God. Bye, y'all.